The struggles continue for Perth Glory and Brisbane Roar. Adelaide United drop out of the top six, and the Premier's Plate race isn't quite over just yet. We're going to be diving into all of the action from this past round in the A-League Men's. Join the conversation. Let me know your thoughts on the past week's action in the comments section, and hit like to support the channel, support the video here. Let's jump into the first game. A lot to get through, and this was, I think we can say, the game of the round, and it was expected to be game of the round heading into this weekend. Adelaide United, Sydney FC battling for a spot at the bottom end of the top six, and the Reds have now dropped down with this 2-3 loss to Sydney FC here at home. 3-2 to Sydney FC. Adrian Segicic with a winner right at the death there for the Sky Blues. A huge 3 points for Sydney FC, who have been obviously very inconsistent this season. They have been fantastic at times, but, considering the quality they have in their team, man, they should be higher up on the ladder, but now they have snuck back into the top six. And the Reds, who are just on this really, really poor run at the moment, just slipping down so far. I mean, it doesn't feel like that long ago where they were sitting, alongside Auckland FC or just behind Auckland, towards the top of the table. They were sitting in second spot for some time there, through the mid part of the season. But this losing run, this winless run that they've gone on now has seen them fall out of the top six, and it's just quite incredible to see. And, there's been a lot of speculation surrounding Carl Verd and his position at the club and whether he'll be there next season. And, I mean, you got to say, potentially, is that, all that speculation and that outside talk, is that filtering into the team. I mean, they're not performing anywhere near where they were earlier on this season. Again, looking at where the Reds currently sit on the table, 33 points, level on points with Sydney FC, it should be said. But you can see their goal difference there's a big gap there from the Sky Blues. And yeah, man, it's just incredible to think Adelaide United. I mean, we were talking about them being, contenders for the Premier's Plate, around the January, February mark. And in the last couple of months, they've seriously slipped down and could well miss out on finals this season. But for the Sky Blues, man, Adrian Segicic, the hero, once again. Klamala with a couple of goals. But, I mean, just another huge evening for Adrian Segicic, a player who's just impressed so much this season. And he's doing it off the bench. Like, he's not even getting regular starting minutes. He's coming off the bench and he's having an impact more often than not. What a huge 3 points there for Sydney FC. They're back in the top six. Another big game this weekend. Auckland FC 1, Western Sydney Wanderers 1. Again, another highly anticipated game heading into this weekend. And I think we got, we got the match that we'd hoped for. It was a tight match. It was a tense match. Wanderers, gave Auckland a really, really good run for their money. As you can see here from the stats from Google, 20 shots from Auckland overall, but 16 from Wanderers. They ended up having more possession in the end as well, the away team. Western Sydney Wanderers, a couple of consecutive games away in New Zealand, and look, the 2 draws, I think they'll take that in the end. But the big thing for Wanderers is that they're on this great run now of, they haven't picked up a loss in quite some time. And that decent form has seen them, sit in a decent spot at the ladder now, 4th, 36 points. Look, obviously the Premier's Plate is looking like it's out of reach for them, but they are still eyeing that second spot on the ladder. We know that's so important because that could mean Asian Champions League elite football for the Australian club who finishes in second spot. So West City Wanderers still chasing that position, and they'll be happy with this draw, I think, away to Auckland FC. And Auckland, I mean, we do have to acknowledge the fact that you look at their last 5 here, the 1 win in their last 5, 4 draws out of their last 5 games. We expect them to claim the Premier's Plate. I think we've all said that, for some time now, but they're not making it easy for themselves. And you can see Western United, who are on this fantastic run of form at the moment, just 5 points behind them. It's not over. It's not over. And that would be quite a dramatic story if in the last few weeks here, if Western United or even maybe Melbourne City were able to catch Auckland FC at the top there. It is not done. And Auckland FC, look, it's not going wrong for them. It's no reason to freak out, I think, if you're an Auckland FC fans. They're still looking pretty strong overall. They've still got defensively a very, very solid team. But again, when it comes to the Premier's Plate, they haven't quite secured it just yet. So, another big game from this past weekend. We're also going to talk about Western United, 3-1 win over Perth Glory. Reece Bozanowski is just having a fantastic season, man. This young midfielder, a real breakout season for him. Jalen Pearman, though, I mean, what a goal. What a strike! This is a guy who obviously had a fantastic tournament in the under 20 Asian Cup with the young Socceroos last month, and he's continuing on his good form here at Perth Glory. And you got to say as well as having a bit of a breakout season. Hasn't necessarily scored too many goals for Perth Glory this campaign, but an absolute cracker strike there. Gulmorka with the own goal, just an absolute mess at the back for Perth Glory, which we've seen a lot from them this season. They've just been pretty chaotic in defence, and then Rami Nazarene off the bench to make it 3 for Western United, who are just unstoppable at the moment, man. Everyone's scared of playing Western United, and I'm really curious to see how they go in the final series. Western United, this exciting team who, when we look at their side, it's not just their starters, it's the impact from the players off the bench who many of them, are scoring goals, are chipping in. I mean, this time around, Nazarene scoring off the bench. Michael Roos is always having an impact when he comes off the bench as well. You've got an experienced defender in there, in James Donachie as well, and the exciting youngsters that are coming through there at Western United. Exciting times for John Aloisi's team at the moment, and Perth Glory, again, just continuing to struggle. Another loss for Perth Glory, and they are currently sitting bottom of the A-League men's ladder. Almost alongside Perth Glory at the moment. Brisbane Roar, they are level on points at the bottom of the table right now, Brisbane Roar, and they picked up a heavy loss at home here. I really feel for Roar fans, man. It's been a tough time for them this season, and considering where this club was, just over a decade ago, and just seeing where they are now, just the stark contrast, it is sad to see, and you do feel for Roar fans. And Macarthur FC, I think it's worth acknowledging and applauding them for how well they overcame this challenge a few months ago, where their club captain and all-time leading goal scorer Valerie Germain departed the club. Not even during the transfer window as well. After that mid-season transfer window, and there's a lot of concern that they would fall away from the top 6, and where would the goals come from? They've silenced the critics. I mean, they've silenced me. I expected them to slip down. Yakalish with a hat-trick in this game. Holman, Sawyer chipping in with goals as well. Abubakar did open the scoring for Brisbane Roar. Really nice strike from him to give the home fans something to celebrate. But Macarthur FC just piled it on in that second half and were too strong in the end. And when we look at the ladder, it is quite fascinating because the Bulls, we thought they were slipping away. 8th spot at the moment, but just a point behind Sydney FC. They have played one extra game, but they are still absolutely in the conversation for finals. And some decent form in the last few weeks. 2 wins in their last 3, 2 wins and a draw in their last 3 matches. Macarthur FC could be a sneaky chance to jump into the top 6 there. Big win there for the Bulls. We've got Melbourne City 1, Central Coast Mariners 0. My full review for this game is on the Coastwatch Football YouTube channel. Mariners just struggling to create anything going forward, really doing so much defending in this game. An aspect that I think really let the Mariners down is this passing accuracy. As you can see here, these stats from Google, 68%, very low there for the Mariners. And Melbourne City, pretty comfortable in the end. Just the 1 goal. It was a really nicely worked goal off that set piece. You can see it was a set play that they had rehearsed on the training pitch, and it worked out perfectly for City, and it was did the job for them in the end, and they are absolutely in the race for that 2nd spot. Again, looking for Champions League elite football, just 1 point behind Western United, and again, probably still in the conversation for the Premier's plate if they can keep the wins coming, and if Auckland slip up, Melbourne City, we know they are a dangerous team when they are in form. So another big win for City. And the final game of the round saw Newcastle Jets fall to defeat at home against Wellington Phoenix. A disappointing result for Jets, considering that there's been a lot of excitement around the Jets over the last couple of months, building some decent form to round out the season. But against Wellington Phoenix, who are below them on the ladder, they're probably looking at this game as a winnable game for the Jets. But Wellington Phoenix with their first victory since January. A big result for them. Chaotic game, dude. Chaotic game. There was plenty of drama, plenty of controversy there towards the end. Newcastle Jets, 25 shots overall. There was some crazy goal mouth scrambles. Wellington Phoenix managing to hold onto the 3 points. Josh Oluwayemi had a chaotic game as well. The own goal, bit of controversy over that one, but made a crucial save right at the end to secure the 3 points for Wellington Phoenix, who obviously have had a tough season as well. Just their 6th win of the season there, Wellington Phoenix, who break that long winless run. So there's a look at the ladder, how it stands at the moment. Again, Auckland sitting 5 points clear on top. The Premier's Plate race is not over. Quite fascinating when you look at the bottom end of the top 6 there. Sydney FC jump in. Adelaide are obviously level on with them on points. Macarthur still in the conversation. Even Jets and Mariners aren't, mathematically out of the conversation just yet as well. But obviously very unlikely for those teams to jump into finals. So we are looking at Macarthur, Adelaide, Sydney sort of battling it out for that bottom place in the top 6. And who will pick up the wooden spoon as well? Brisbane Roar, Perth Glory in there at the bottom. Guys, let me know your thoughts on this past weekend's matches in the comments section. Join the discussion. Thanks very much for tuning in. Hit the like button on the way. My name's Lockie, and I'll see you in the next one.